because a dose of death magic is explosive.
Oh, very well. Show me this trick.
Oh my, do I have a story to tell you. I'm gonna try and break down the last 2 days into something of a sort of coherent tale, but my rambling will probably be all over the place, and I don't know where to start, or where I'm going, or what needs to be told, so yeah, this could get interesting. Anyway, day 7 didn't really bring much of anything new. Turns out one of my friends decided that he sucks at DPS, and he can't do a healing spec, and he's just a whiny baby. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Chris. So he had to be a tank since, and I quote, I've always been a tank. So I was like, fine, whatever, I'll DPS. So I switched back over to DPS spec and played around with it for a little bit and was like, meh, it just doesn't seem right no more. They said not enough DPS or something. And I was right. I wasn't doing enough DPS. I couldn't figure out why. I guess the higher I got in levels, the more my build that I created, the suckier aspects of it became apparent. And here I thought I was being creative, like if I have more buffs, I can do more damage. And that ain't how it works. So I did some researching on the interwebs and searched to find what does what and what builds were out there, and had this great discussion with this dude, Raaz, or Raz, or Raaz, R-A-A-Z, whatever, you know, he knows who he is. He and I got together and had this great conversation, and all of his, like, guildies and stuff, even one of them knew who I was, and he was like, oh, golly gee, I can't believe it's Mojo Baker. I was like, yep, it's me. Have an autograph. No, that part didn't happen at all. But yeah, he knew who I was. I was like, that's great, thank you. And so they helped me create this super ridiculous PvE spec. It totally sucks at PvP and soloing, but since I'm not doing any soloing, and I probably won't, this is like a specific dungeon group stuff spec, and it is super beast. It is amazing. I do like 500% more DPS than it was before. Oh, and right now I know the question you guys who are playing Warrior are about to ask, and the answer is no. You're never gonna get it. Isn't that right, ladies?
Never gonna get it, 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 never gonna get it.
Other than that, most of my time was spent exploring because I didn't want to outlevel my friends and whatnot, and I went up into the mountains behind Granite Falls, and there's a ton of stuff apparently back there, and I found a bunch of artifacts, and I even found these dancing squirrels. And when you dance with them, you get an achievement, and it's awesome. And it also turns out that if you jump off the cliff in the right spot, it has to be perfect. You have to have it where the water's dark below you, or else you'll die. But if you jump, you get an achievement there too. So 2 achievements, 1 area, easy peasy. So, on to the big story. Yesterday, my homie G's, Chris and Mike, and I decided to finish up this quest line that starts way back in Free March that apparently is this overarching story, and in my last video, people were like, hey, you know what, you need to do that quest in order to, like, make sure you get other quests, because apparently the unseen chicks that we had seen in the Scarlet Gorge, apparently they have a quest there, and we had none when we first found them. And according to what I was told, it is connected to this overarching story. So we were like, son of a bitch. We gotta go back and do it, so we're caught up to where we are in our progression through the zones, so we can do it as we go, right? I mean, that seemed logical. So we go all the way back to Free March and start this damn thing up. So of course, where we left off was this go about and kill 8 death rifts, and then go destroy these pillar things that spawn death creatures, and after a disturbingly long wait for all the death rifts and fighting through the mobs spawning pillars of super evilness, we got this quest to go back to the very first dungeon, the Iron Tomb. So, yeah, needless to say, it was very simple. We just plowed through it. But before we went in, Chris renamed Mike's pet Master Satyr, which, you know, was kind of funny. And Mike, when Chris got up to go to the bathroom, renamed his pet and didn't tell Chris. And so what happens is, well, I'll let you watch. This is later in the dungeon when Chris finally realizes that we changed his pet, and it's just us giggling like idiots. Where did he go?
He named his fucking character Chowder.
Yes, that is entirely immature. Anyway, we're eventually sent to the Unseen Chicks in the Scarlet Gorge, only now, wait for it, they want us to kill more death rifts. At this point, our resolve was wearing very thin, but we did it anyway, and after many hours of farming these damn rifts, we were done. We go back, and we were told to find some hidden place or something, and mind you, we have no clue where this is, but it said it's up on the cliff, so we spent way too long on the cliffs looking, and we still couldn't find anything. Turns out, after searching on the internet, which we should have done to begin with, it's like right on the ground floor, right around the corner from right where we started. Yeah, that was worth a few ironic laughs in itself. Well, now that we turn that in, we have to go and find 3 different items. It's a brain, it's some special crystal thing, and it's some powdery dust crap. And it turns out the Gnar brain we needed, we swore, due to it being late in one of us, no blame needs to be placed on anyone, especially not me, that it dropped off the last boss in the Foul Cascade instance. Convinced of this, we got a group to go into the dungeon, which only led to complete and total failure when we realized it wasn't there. Totally off-topic tangent, and I know dungeons are supposed to go with the story in this game, but if you're playing Defiant, this is the 3rd dungeon in a row since the beginning where all you fought are the same undead guys. I know it makes sense story-wise and that the zones themselves aren't all undead guys, but why so much creativity for the Guardians? But when it comes to the Defiant, we only get a bunch of undead guys. I'm just saying. Anyway, we killed the Gnar Queen, no brain. So after investigating, we found out that they're outside in an area we'd been to like a million freaking times. That's always sort of the way it happens, isn't it? So we end up doing that and completing the quest. It's roughly 3 a.m. now, and we have been doing this for hours. So Chris was getting tired and grumpy, and I kept giving him crap. I was like, oh, you want a Happy Meal, little guy? Maybe an ice cream cone? Something a little bit? Right, it was just pissing him off. It was great. And eventually it just boiled up into this conversation running back to the quest giver.
Continue the freaking quest line of the fucking...
This fucking quest line sucks.
You probably would be 34 by now.
Oh shit, I love how mad he got. Poor black.
It's pretty bad.
I'm so bad right now.
Watch a rage quit when it says go through FC now.
It's gonna say something crazy like run FC 12 times. Because it'll be like, I could use that fucking McDonald's now.
You give me a Happy Meal. I want my Happy Meal.
I could really use that Happy Meal. And of course we did. So while we were waiting, we had this discussion that I think plagues all men, really. Would you bang a butch chick with one eye, possible bipolar disorder, major daddy issues, and the ability to kill you at a whim if she had a smoking hot body and just ridiculous boobs? Anyway, after debating the finer points of that issue, we completed the instance and the quest and returned to Ashikatari for our reward. A neck piece. Chris went into massive nerd rage mode. Mike was like cracking up in that ironic, oh my god, what did I just do with my life kind of laugh. And me, I got a server first on the item I collected, which caused them both to lose it. All in all, it was just another hilarious night of MMOing, which was a complete waste of time. Yep. With that said, I cannot wait to find out what happens tomorrow.